Hello, my fellow Americans. We welcome you in on this glorious day to inform you that we have a new president, and that president is the Colorado Avalanche. This is Grit a Hockey Podcast. My name is Dakota, and it is my pleasure to announce that I have been made the Secretary of Bad Podcasts. Some other people that have been appointed to office are Jake.
Damn, he's not accepting the position.
I'm not going along with this bit. This is bad.
I said I was the Secretary of Bad Podcasts. It fits.
You're the secretary of D's nuts.
Hey, got him.
Okay, you're just the
God,
secretary
boys.
then. That's fine.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm joined by
That's
Jake.
funny. I'm funny.
I'm joined by Jake. He's the person who is just the secretary now. I'm also joined by Devin,
It's an honor.
Dylan,
I'm the janitor. Very prestigious.
and Indy.
Hello.
I like how excited. Devin sounded
Yeah,
That's right.
to be appointed to his new position.
It's an honor.
it's part of the government now.
Yeah.
He's
that's right.
actually a judge, so it is your honor.
Oh,
That's right.
very excited for you.
I appointed him to the head of player safety.
Oh, he'll do a better job.
I was gonna say I trust
I'm,
him in that position more than I trust Barros.
You shouldn't.
I feel like you could look at a video and
There-
determine if someone needs a suspension or
Is this
not.
dirty as fuck? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Somebody,
Yeah, I mean,
somebody just drop kicks somebody on the ice and cuts them up, and you're like, suspension to the guy who got cut up.
That's right.
Should have been prepared.
Dangerous
somebody-
streets out here.
Somebody did
Gotta-
throw a kick at somebody's chest
Oh,
relatively recently. Who was that? God, fuck, was it? I couldn't tell you. But yeah, somebody recently within the last year and a half got suspended for kicking somebody in the chest with their skate.
Well,
Oh yeah, while they were down, right?
yeah.
They were like
and
on
they
the
threw
ice and they
kicks.
kicked up, and they were like, "Dog, no, 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 no." Yeah, that's right.
Zach Cassian, that checks out.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh, he did.
that checks out. That's something Zach Cassian would do.
Yeah, I know. I read that name and I was like, yeah.
Yeah, not surprised at all by that. So yeah, the big news over the week, the Colorado Avalanche won the President's Trophy. They are number one in the league. Not only in our hearts, but on the fucking standings. Get fucked,
they
the
are
NHL.
powerful.
hell yeah.
I took a peek at Vegas Twitter. And they're complaining about tiebreaker rules.
Is there a tiebreaker that they would have, won against
They had
us?
games. They had just straight up game wins.
Yeah, it was just game wins. So everyone's like, we had to have more game wins. So, we're just going to disregard the point system. We had more game wins. Fuck you.
I see your we had more game wins and raise you the we had fewer game losses.
Yes. We had more regulation
suck
wins.
less.
Eat shit, bitch.
I saw somebody complain on Vegas Twitter, and they were like, they really should have used head-to-head as a tiebreaker. And I'm like, yeah, they would have won that one too. What?
I know. The Avs won head-to-head against every team in the division.
I'm not sure what your complaint is.
Listen, most of them have only been fans for 3.5-ish years. So
Listen, in his defense, it felt like it was right, so it was. That's the way that most logic happens nowadays.
yes, quite. I did listen to the Sin Bin podcast after our last Vegas game and thought that they were actually quite reasonable.
I've seen very reasonable and very unreasonable things from them, so.
It was just that one show, but he did say, I think they're going to struggle against the Kings, and then, LOL.
Narrator, they didn't. Um,
Narrator, we almost had 2 hat tricks back to back.
God, so close.
So,
Dude, I can't believe Newhook gave up his first goal to try and give it to Jost
So
for
listen,
the hat trick.
let's shelve that conversation because it is one I want to talk about, but I want to do it in the context of that specific game.
Oh, are we going game by game? I thought we were just doing that.
Let's just do a really quick because we know what we want to talk about for each game for the most part.
We won
right?
5 in a row. Smile.
Yep, we won 5 games in a row to win the President's Trophy. The first game we haven't covered, it was the away game, final meeting of the season versus Vegas. The Avalanche win that one 2-1.
GG easy. We definitely deserve to win that one completely. No issues with us winning that one. It was well played by the Avs. Dominant performance.
Yeah, so the Vegas played with 3 people missing off their roster, 2 forwards, 1 defenseman. The refs tried to make it closer by calling bullshit penalties on Ryan Graves.
He caressed his cheek lovingly and got a penalty for it. It was bullshit.
After the dude slashed Grubauer.
Yep. And hit Graves with the shoulder. Both of those in sequence.
Yeah, like Graves got hit by him, and then he like went to swing at Gruby, and then Graves was like, "I'm going to gently kiss you on the cheek with anger, and I'm getting a penalty. God damn it."
Yep.
He like one-handed shoved a couple guys after the whistle for the rest of the game, and I was like, "Oh no." They called that other one, then this is a surefire one.
I was about to say, I feel like he kept just looking at the ref like, I dare you to call this shit.
It wasn't much, but I wanted to get a fucking penalty on Colorado.
Yeah. I was about to say, that's what it fucking was.
I don't get the joke. Can you Tim peel back the layers for me?
Sorry, I just had a seizure.
At that moment, brain cells died.
Yeah, I haven't even really gotten into this beer yet, and I'm already feeling fucking drunk after that one. Holy fuck.
I have to make your hosting job difficult, dude.
Oh, man.
Listen, I can't just keep dropping bangers. I have been on a roll for the last, 3 years at least, so I had to have one sus one.
But you know who won't make your hosting job difficult? Libsyn.
Damn, we got sponsors, Pog?
No way. But yeah, I mean, that game was, it felt like we should have lost that one for sure. I think Vegas is rightfully frustrated at the way that one went, but DM Alex talk about that one, but actually don't.
Shut the fuck, Lil Dick.
That
was Marchessault. Damn it.
Yeah, wrong player.
Every player on Vegas is the same to me.
Yes, the person
except
in that
for
gray and or white and or gold jersey.
Those sick fucking Buckies, dude.
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is the Avalanche won, Vegas lost, and go cry about it.
Suck on your mommy's titties and stop wasting my time.
Yeah, that's the Bruins.
No, that was Marchessault.
No, that was also Marchessault.
Oh, I thought that was Marchand.
Nope.
No.
All these M names.
The names are close. I can see where you might be confused with your, available brain power, but
I was about to say, Marchand calls people pigs and peasants.
Listen, you dream of being me. Go fucking shoot pucks in your driveway, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
So the second game we haven't covered, Colorado Avalanche versus LA Kings, 6-0 win for Colorado. They just completely dominated against a team that had no skin in the game.
You think they might have some sort of skin in the game, playing a spoiler like most teams do, especially with Doughty's fucking attitude.
Doughty tried, and that was the problem for LA.
I was about to say,
Dude,
Doughty punched the shit out of him.
There's never any doubt when Doughty's on the ice, because he does not shut the hell up.
No, he does not.
No Doughty. Yeah, and did you see the quote after the series was over?
I did not.
They were like, so unless the team makes major moves and makes huge trades, are you going to be happy with the direction of the team? And he was like, nope. I was like, okay, so I guess we have our Eichel for next season.
Well, the thing is,
except Eichel's good.
Yeah, I was about to say Eichel's good, and also Eichel didn't sign a contract that he's not playing up to.
Well, he's not playing at all, but
Well, he's not playing at all because he's injured because he can't go get the fucking surgery he wants.
there's more to that. I'm sure we'll talk about it in the news.
Oh yeah,
Yes. I like that we both checked notes to make sure that made that in there.
yep.
I don't have the note sheet because you didn't post the link.
I did, actually.
He did. I'm in it.
I don't have the note sheet because I didn't see the link that you posted. So therefore, you didn't post the link.
It is right above.
It felt like it
blend-
was true, so
blend
it
up.
was. I like your logic there. It's infallible. So yeah, I think that the biggest thing about the 6-0 win for the Avalanche is JT Compher.
Yeah.
He got the game winner in Vegas, and then he got a hat trick in this first LA Kings game, and he's been a ghost for the rest of the season. So having him step it up right before the playoffs is
He
looks like
peaked
it's a
right
good
before
sign.
the playoffs. It sucks, dude.
No, it's not. He peaked. He just got the a fire lit under his ass,
Yeah.
and now he's ready to go.
He is on fire, boys.
Except for he passed that torch over to Jost for the next game.
He is not on the Fire Boys. He's on the Avalanche.
Last game of the season was also against the Kings, and 5-1 win, another dominant performance. Joesty with 2 goals. Joesty was toasty.
Yeah, Joe.
With the mosty.
Yep.
With the most.
So yeah, he got 2 goals, and the entire third period they were just feeding Jost to try to get him his hattie.
Yeah, that was fun.
I feel like there was a time where he was like triple shifted, and just everyone was like, "I have a clear open net. Fuck it, I'm giving the Jost."
Yeah,
Dude,
right.
Newhook almost had his first goal, and instead it was like Jost.
Yeah, he was in
Yeah,
a
that-
really good position to just get his first, and he was like, "Nope, I'm just gonna make a nifty little pass behind me right to Jost."
On one hand, I think you have the coach say, "Stop being cute, you asshole." On the other hand, I think you have the coach saying, "Yeah, we were way ahead, but like, good teamwork, good locker room."
100%. I think Bednar's all about what happened there. They were up 5-1. The game was.
He
not
strikes
in
me
any
as
danger.
businessy enough to like at least be like, "Hey, listen, the situation we were in, it was fine, but like, don't get too fucking cute." He strikes me as just like stern enough to like at least point it out, but then be like, "But also, hell yeah, brother."
In like a 3-2 game, you want to tighten it up, but in a 5-1 blowout, like sure.
I was about to say, Bednar probably sat there and looked at the Kings and went like, "Yeah, they're not going to try to get back in this one. You guys can do whatever the hell you want. I'll keep throwing Jost out there."
Yeah. I think the other notable thing about that game was the Ryan Graves fight, right? Brendan Lemieux hit Sam Girard.
I don't know if
and
I'd
then-
call it a fight.
Well,
Uh,
they tugged at each other, and then one of them fell over, and they got 5
They tugged
minutes.
off each
Yeah.
other. I think the biggest issue is Brendan Lemieux didn't have his fight strap fastened.
Yeah, his jersey
Yeah.
came up
if-
real quick.
And by real quick, it's like instantly, as in the button wasn't done. Like it was really.
yeah, it was never on.
If it wasn't the last game of the season, I think he might have seen a fine, maybe. I don't know if he can get time for it, but
Well, you get kicked out of the game immediately is the big one, right?
yeah. I actually don't know the rule on it, to be fair. I just know
I was
there's
about to say,
consequences.
I remember when they first implemented a ruling about that, they were trigger happy about fucking people over.
Yeah,
But I don't know how it is now.
fair.
Especially since I don't think like an actual punch was thrown.
Yeah, I can see that. It's not like somebody just did the thing where you fucking pull the dude's shirt over him so that he can't like see or move, and then you just absolutely fuck him up.
Yeah. I was
Yeah,
about to
the
say,
issue with that is less about that though, and more about if you get your jersey off, they can't grab your jersey to get leverage.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing really like happened, so I guess it was fine.
I was about to say, I think that as soon as like his jersey started coming up, that fight went straight to the ground.
Yeah. And I do want to say that I think the hit was clean. It was obviously like a big hit, but I don't think it was
Oh, yeah.
like dirty or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't have issues with it. I could see how
That's
on the
awesome.
ice you'd be like, "Eh."
Yeah, yeah.
Spitting chicklets obviously didn't see it that way, but you know, apparently they have no concept of seeing something on the ice versus seeing it live on TV. Which is funny because they try and leverage the fact that they played the game a shit ton, but apparently in this case it didn't matter.
Yeah. Let's get into that. Chicklets complained that you can't even make a clean big hit anymore without there being a fight.
I did the segue for you. I felt really proud of it.
No, you're good. I saw you.
Notice me. Witness me. Yeah, I mean, they posted that shit, and then the guy who was in the fight, Brendan Lemieux, was like, no, it's fine. I threw the hit. I was ready to see if somebody would respond. Somebody did, and it was okay. It's not a big deal.
Yep.
Not a big deal.
Basically said that I play that style of hockey, and if I didn't want that to happen, I would stop playing that style of hockey. Which, good on him. Although thinking about it, it was pretty funny because for a little bit, my girlfriend's dad thought that Brendan Lemieux was Mario Lemieux's son, and then I was like, no, Claude Lemieux. He's like, I like that better.
Yeah, there's a distinct difference in type of player in terms of possible fathers there.
I'll say he's not the son of a superstar. He's
I mean, Claude Lemieux was quite good in his day.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was very good in his day, and he was like, I actually think I like Claude Lemieux's style of play better than I liked Mario's, even though points and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah. And also he's responsible for the Red Wings rivalry. Fuck the Red Wings, but he absolutely did it.
Yeah.
I was about to say that rivalry would have been more of just like two teams that constantly see each other hating each other instead of you did something bad, so I'm going to dedicate my life to fucking you up every time I see you.
It's kind of like how the Avs are still super pissed at the Coyotes, even though Ronaldo's not even close to being a little bit on the team anymore.
Oh, I know. That's so fucking great every time.
That game happened, and then every Coyotes matchup is just like, nah.
Yeah, every single time.
That's the clip for the two homies where somebody hits McKinnon and Gerard skates up, and then like the guy just sucker punches Gerard. If you guys remember that one. And then McKinnon just throws the Coyotes player around on the ice while Eric Johnson just beats another one's face in. It's like it's good stuff.
I was about to say, I think McKinnon and Johnson went for Ronaldo, but Johnson ended up having him and was just treating him like a rag doll.
What was it, Garland that McKinnon ragdolled?
And
then he's the same guy that...
It was Archibald.
It was Archibald? Oh, okay. McKinnon and Garland went at it in the playoffs then. Is that what I'm thinking of? Okay.
Was it
Fisher?
Fisher was the one he ragdolled in the playoffs.
I remember people saying, oh, it's fucking Garland. It's the same person he messed up, and then he threw his helmet at him, but that could have just been Twitter narrative.
No,
I don't pay attention to Coyotes players.
No, so after McKinnon threw the helmet, Fisher went up to McKinnon and was like, you want to go again? And it was like, you don't want to go again. The last time you went, he threw you like a rag doll.
Coyotes don't want to go at all, as it turns out. And they can't.
No,
have a good postseason. Enjoy golf.
It's Christian Fisher is the person he ragdolled in Game 4.
Gotcha.
Good.
Yeah, every time the Colorado see the Coyotes now, they just see red and they just, act like a bunch of fucking assholes, and it's great. So yeah, in other news around the league, we talked about how if the Rangers really wanted to see some change, in addition to firing their GM and president of hockey operations, they probably should fire their coach. They did.
They did. Apparently that was a Chris Drury decision, so, good on him.
They fired the coach, the assistant coach, both the associate coaches, but kept the goalie coach, so good on him.
Hey, man, their goalie's been kicking butt.
I was about to say their goalies have been doing real good. Their prospect forwards, though, have been not good, but hoping a new coaching staff can get them started.
Yeah. I don't remember what the deal was. I remember Montreal fired their goalie coach earlier in the season. And then Price started playing better right away.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons they fired the goalie coach they had and got the guy they did is because that guy worked with another star goalie and really brought him back to form. I don't remember who it is, but it has me thinking that maybe goalie coaches actually decently matter. Based on the difference in results in at least those two cases. But
well, I was about to say, I feel like people have been saying the goalie coach and the Islanders goalie coach has been really good because he's revived a few.
Yeah.
years
Well, I
ago.
mean, the big thing with Varley is that they play such good defense that he doesn't have to like break his groin
Well,
to make saves.
I
But
was
no,
about to
I
say,
know what
well,
you're saying. I agree with you.
It was Varley, Leonard, and even Grace was doing really good up there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and Grice is now like not good in
Yeah.
Detroit,
It-
and
It's,
or as Elliot Friedman would say, Detroit.
Detroit. Yeah, it's weird because I feel like goalie coaches are pretty unsung. Like, you can't even think of the guy that they were talking about that revived star players and made them good again, right? But it's like pretty obvious when a team has a bad goalie coach or like a really good one that like helps keep their guys focused, right?
Yeah, the reality for me is that coaching is my biggest blind spot, and specialized coaching is even more.
Yep.
Like the big issue for me is it's really hard for me to look at and be like, yes, this is what a coach's impact is and how they're making it happen. You know,
But Jake,
like it's just
Bednar
not
should
super
be
easy to
calling-
quantify.
Jared Bednar should be calling more timeouts during icings to help his team rest. It's a failing on his part, and it's totally not against the rules to do that. But yeah, I agree with you. It is kind of hard to see a coach's impact outside of like when Bednar decides to do like the blending of lines. Like that's
Yeah.
obviously something he's got a lot of say in.
I actually think that's the most obvious in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
I think the Blendnar is like the thing where you can look at it and be like, okay, well, this player's playing good. And then you put him with this player who has a complementary skill set. Whereas these guys are better at playmaking, passing, zone entries, and the other guy's just a straight shooter. You know, putting Burakovsky with like Nuke and Jost, maybe that kind of thing. It's the more like general strategy. And, you know, you see some of it. Like Tampa obviously has the like, you know, the neutral zone muck up, that kind of thing where it's like, okay, well, I mean, I can see this. But, you know.
Yeah.
Or Barry Trotz has some brand of like really boring hockey that you can kind of just sit there and be like, I see it, but
I was about to say the defensive-oriented hockey that he has.
I
when you
hope you-
take a star.
Yeah. I hope you
Oh,
like
no.
2-1 and 1-0 games.
yeah.
Yep.
But like, you know, Bender's impact, it's like hard to look at and be like, I know exactly what he's doing. Other than, you know, the line changes and stuff like that. But
Systems, obviously, but you know, that's like a lot more intangible at times, you know?
Yeah.
Like how much of it is like a player playing within a system and how much of it is like hockey IQ taking over and them deciding to like make changes to what they're doing at times.
especially with such high IQ, like high quality players that we have.
Yeah.
Like obviously it seems like they play within a system. There's some stuff you can pick up on, but like if Nathan McKinnon sees a thing, he's gonna see a thing.
Yeah.
You know, if Cam Carr sees a thing. You know, I doubt there's much coaching. I mean, I could be wrong, but I doubt there's much coaching that goes into Makar realizing that he can go, you know, in big 360 fucking circle around the entire zone before eating it in, you know?
Yeah. Like
I don't think the coach is like, if you see a guy in this position, take the puck around the world and then fucking yeet it in from this spot. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I think that's player taking over, but
Yeah.
I think with those kind of players, you kind of give them that freedom for the most part.
Yeah, of course. So what I guess what I'm trying to say is vote Bednar for Jack Adams if you have a vote.
He should have
Hell
won
yeah.
it in fucking 17, 18, dude.
But
Yeah.
but Jake, I don't know if you were aware of this. There was a guy named Gerard Gallant who had a team that didn't exist before and took them to the Stanley Cup final.
Listen, I get it,
But then they fired
but that
his
was
ass anyway,
voted
so it
upon
sucks.
with the context of like, you know, basing performance of past expansion teams. Whereas Vegas, I don't think they were gifted by the expansion rules explicitly a good team, but you know, they were gifted a good team by quality GM work and people not wanting to lose certain players, right?
Yeah.
So Vegas kind of like took advantage of it. And I think the expansion rules aren't strictly to blame for them being so good.
No.
Like I said, I just think they worked it well. But yeah, I don't know. At the time, I don't know if people saw it that way, right? I guess is my point.
Well, I mean, just the quality of the team, it wasn't obvious that they were good right away, right? But you take the end result of the season, and obviously you can kind of gauge players' impacts and worth a lot more, and just say like, oh,
Well, the whole
we
team
were
was
just
a middle
wrong at the
six,
beginning, right? Yeah.
Like the team didn't have the worst, but they didn't have the best. So the whole team was just a middle six essentially.
Yeah.
And then William Karlsson overperforming.
I was about to say, yeah, him just
He's still damn
randomly
good, but
becoming- yeah, he's not 50-point person. Oh, sorry. No, it was 50 points, like 53 points, right?
Yeah. I don't know how you can justify that when there was a team that was the worst team in history the year before, and they took 2 second-line guys and a third-line guy, put them on their top line, turned them into fucking world burners, and then made the playoffs.
yeah, I think Bednar should have won it for sure. Honestly, even with Gallant, because they showed even past then that maybe they just were not gifted, but maybe they made a really good team with the tools they had.
And people underestimated them going in.
Yeah.
I will say if there was somebody I would have not pissed that Bednar lost it to, it would be Gallant just because of the situation. But looking back, I just feel like Bednar really deserved it, especially seeing how the team has come since then. Because now he'll never get it, right?
Yeah.
Unless he really gets the reputation votes, which I doubt.
No. East Coast bias.
But you're always going to have the overperforming teams no matter what, right? You're always going to have the guys who blow up expectations, and that's usually who's going to win it.
Yeah.
But
I thought you'd have won it. I think the only overperforming team guy that actually got the Jack Adams was Cooper, right? When they made their historically good season.
Yep, and then they got swept in the playoffs.
But that wasn't an over. Do you mean not overperforming? Because I don't think they overperformed. They were expected to be the best team in the league.
Well, but the Jack Adams is the most overperforming team award, right? And I guess
I understand, but I more mean it's either the most overperforming team or the most super mega dominant, which the Avs weren't. They won on a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But Barry Trotz wins it when it's okay, well, he's Barry fucking Trotz. But generally, the easiest thing is this team was supposed to suck and they didn't. So smile.
Yep.
Wait, you're here? Trophy?
Yeah.
I don't personally track with the logic of this team was supposed to be good and they were even gooder. Smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not logic necessarily, but
yeah, and that's why I'm saying.
I just think, what did they have? 130 points. I just don't think you can discount that. You got to give them all the awards you can.
Yeah, no. So, and that's why I'm saying that's the only thing in recent memory that has happened, right? And that was a special season.
Yeah, I don't remember who people were saying was going to win it this year. I really don't pay attention to anyone, but our division. Maybe the Wild would get the vote or a vote or some votes. Whoever their fucking coach is.
A lot of people are saying Q should win it.
Yeah,
for what he did in Florida. I think that
Florida Panthers are turned up. That's true.
I know the rookies are very engaged in this conversation, but
we all have a vast amount of league-wide knowledge. Smile.
It is what it is.
I mean, if anything, the gimmick of having them learn, you could say this conversation would be informative, I guess, right?
Sure. Just if only to try to names and general context stuff, right?
That's why I said subscribe to the subreddit and shit, because you just kind of get information.
Yeah.
Passively over time.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe learn who Alex Ovechkin is and shit.
At first I thought you were memeing, and then I was like, wait, they actually don't know who Alex Ovechkin is.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know that Devin subscribed to the subreddit. I don't know how much he actively looks at it, but the idea of that, of saying he should do that, was mainly hey, you'll just get a bunch of passive information, see some cool clips of players you never see before, doing cool shit. So then when you hear the name the Washington Capitals, you can be I have a concept of what they might be.
Yeah.
The oldest team.
I've heard the name Connor McDavid before.
I have.
So yeah, the last on the news before we get to our main event here. Jack Eichel. Devin and Dylan are familiar with this situation, so they'll definitely have more to chime in here with. But Jack Eichel did an interview where he disclosed that he's got a herniated neck disc, and he wants to pursue surgery for this injury, and the Buffalo Sabres are not letting him do it.
Yes, this fucked shit
Yes.
I thought this was very interesting. I was surprised by the fact that they could do that.
Yeah.
It just seems like, how is that possible? But I mean, hey, contracts, I guess.
Well, and he makes a cool 10 mil or whatever his number is, but I do have context and I do have information. Now, it was from Elliot Friedman, who you might say is...
He's reputable.
He's reputable, but, he's also a mouth for people who want them to be...
Yeah.
who have a message to share, right? Whether it be team or player, he definitely, is willing to share the message of whoever communicates it, I would say.
Yes. I would say that he is mostly trustworthy with his information. He is not right 100% of the time, but usually if he goes public with something, there is a kernel there. Like, there is something behind what he is saying.
But, well, more specifically, this is straight from the team.
Yep.
But so apparently the surgery has only recently been adopted in North America, the one he wants to get. And only a couple people have had it and have been the, example for being a high-level athlete and, being able to return to form, which Eichel is McKinnon tier. I think he's lesser, but I think he is that tier.
He is he is somewhere between, top 5 to top, 8 center in the league.
Yeah. And so this specific surgery, again, doesn't have much workability. It doesn't have much evidence to show that, somebody could do what you're paying them to do after it's over. Now, there are a couple examples of MMA fighters. Most recently, I don't remember the guy's name, but the guy who fucking kicked the dude and his legs snapped.
Chris Weidman.
Oh,
Yes. And another MMA fighter who I don't know have gotten it and have been quite pleased with the results. Chris Weidman got it before the fight where he snapped his leg. Yeah, I guess he didn't really get to test out the surgery because he snapped his leg on the first kick, but the other guy is currently in rehab for about 3 months.
Yeah.
So, I'm of two minds of it learning that because yes, a team having that kind of sway is kind of ridiculous. On the other hand, all parties involved, including Jack and his lawyers and stuff and doctors, team independent doctors and team doctors as well, all agreed, let's wait a little bit to, let's see if this can work itself out before taking the surgery, which we have no idea what it'll do to you. And apparently the timeline was 6 weeks, and a week and a half later was that interview. So instead of waiting the 6 weeks, Jack said that a week and a half into that agreed upon period by the doctors, because apparently he was still feeling really not good. So I definitely see where he's coming from, but I also see, I think it's wrong that the team can really have that much control, but I also see where they're coming from on it, because doctors that were not paid off by the team that Jack paid independently also came to that conclusion.
Okay.
But I will say real quick.
Yep.
A big thing also is that 3-month recovery period puts him right at training camp, so he wants it now. Is another chunk of info there.
Yes. Okay, so I also have information on this from a different source. So your caveat is that it's coming from a person who is trustworthy, but this could just be, team propaganda. Potentially, if there's a person in the Buffalo Sabres organization that wanted this information out, right? My caveat with mine is that this comes from the Staff and Graph podcast, Rachel Dorier. I don't have a good idea of how credible she is, although I have heard good things. I've just started listening to them, so I'm just not overly familiar. So that's my caveat. She says that she actually has this same exact injury in her neck. And using her knowledge of what she has been told by her doctors, because she is also an athletic person, and kind of filling in the blanks based on her knowledge and her knowledge of how the team doctor stuff works, because she has also worked for NHL teams in the past. is that what it looks like happened is Jack Eichel was advised by his doctors to get the surgery, because there is no really viable rehabilitation plan for that specific injury, due to just the nature of the injury. That the only way for you to really fix it is to undergo surgery. But there are things that are concerning about the injury because it is in your neck and it is so close to your spine. Paralysis could be an issue. If they do the surgery, there is a chance they will have to perform like from his mouth into his like neck. So if something gets nicked in there, he could be mute for the rest of his life. And that it's a risky surgery. It is not without risk. And that is probably one of the reasons why the Buffalo Sabres are not really too keen on the idea of having him undergo the surgery. However, if it is like the only like really viable way for them to do things, players are usually so averse to surgery, they usually just want to rehabilitate because it ends up being better in the long term for them. That him wanting the surgery is probably indicative of the advice that he is being given by his party.
Well, and so I think what I would say is that I think that you can put those puzzle pieces together where the time period of waiting that was supposedly agreed upon and also the advice to get it probably can both be true.
Yes. I don't think there's
apparently
anything...
Chris Weidman said it took him 2 weeks to recover. The other guy took 3 months. So even if the surgery is like risky, apparently the recovery is relatively okay.
Yeah. I don't think that it's like conflicting reports. I think that these do just kind of like feed on each other, right?
Yeah. Well, and if I'm going to be honest, I think Elliot would probably have gotten also information too.
Yes, from
not just from the team, but from the player. Yeah. I feel like he's really geared up to be like the new Bob McKenzie and shit now that he's on his way out. So he's really trying to be as like not shitty as he can be, as fair as he can be.
Yeah.
But I mean, hockey players want to play, right? If he sees that it's going to be a 3-month recovery and that lines up with when training camp starts, like he's going to want to do it. He's also going to want to not be hurting.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Now,
I think it's fucking weird. Now, I don't think it sounds as sinister as it initially did with the context. But
now the people on Staff and Graph are very like pro Eichel on this, and like to hear them say it, them not allowing him to undergo the surgery, which by their math means he would be like at the longer recovery period, he would miss like the first 2 home games of the season or something like that. So the optics to them are that the Buffalo Sabres are publicly saying that his health is worth less than 2 home games. And whether or not that is the truth, that is definitely the optics of it.
I don't think it is, and I also think Rachel has a history of being annoyingly reactionary following her on Twitter, but
sure,
we'll ignore that. I think if they just said strict no, then that is the like worry. But I think the agreed upon waiting time frame of 6 weeks, if that is the case, I just don't feel like the sinister nature of it is there very much, to be honest. And I think his health is only worth 2 home games is like some real bullshit.
Yeah.
Not going to sit here to defend a corporation, but like if we're going to wait 6 weeks, this is agreed upon by doctors is like the story.
If that is true, then yes.
Yeah, but
different.
Coming from Elliot Friedman versus her is more credible to me.
Sure.
As someone who is familiar with her.
I would say that it is all hearsay, but Elliot Friedman is typically somebody who is reputable.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think she's entirely unreasonable all the time, but, I think that I would side with Elliot on this one.
Sure.
I don't think he has any reason, and I don't think the Sabres have any reason to say anything about a 6-week waiting period. And I think if they said that and it wasn't true, then that could very easily be
debunked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, we're people listening to other people who are listening to other people. So
yeah. I knew a guy who knew a guy who's friends with Jack Eichel, and he said that the Buffalo Sabres cut off a horse's head and threw it in his bed. Said, if you ever say anything bad about us again, you're next.
And make no mistake, fuck the Sabres. Making even more no mistake. It's fucked up that they have that power.
Yeah.
But in a situation where they do have the power, I get it.
Yeah.
That version of events makes sense to me from that perspective.
Sure.
You know, again, it's a matter of like the way it should be versus the way it is, and the way it is, it seems like they're handling it in a fair enough way.
Sure.
Yeah.
Also, you know, he signed the contract, so
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, if it wasn't a situation where he like signed the contract and had all the stuff in it, and he had, you know, lawyers pour over it, Mr. $10 million a year, like I might be like, okay, well, this is fucked up, but I don't think he like got a contract and signed it like a fucking, you know, high school punk band with a record label and got fucked over.
He'll be fine no matter what he does.
I hope he'll be fine.
Well, so I think the worst case is that if the season is close to starting and they still haven't allowed him to do the surgery, he should hold out. He should withhold his services.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Get his
Make no mistake, me defending the 6 weeks is not me saying he shouldn't like go nuclear if that's not the case at all.
Yes. But the ball is in Buffalo's court, which is never a good thing for them.
Yeah, they also have not proven that they're capable of making quality decisions.
No, not at all. And he's not the only person that wants out of there. So
imagine trying to trade him during all of this.
I know.
Well, okay, so next year he has an NMC, a no move clause for the homies, which means that he either doesn't get moved or he can choose if he gets moved. So basically the team has to come to him and say, this team wants you, this is the return, do you agree? And he can be like, fuck no or fuck yes. So if he really wants to be shitty, he can just not play for them and also not move and let him trade them. But up until then, he does not have a no move clause, so they can trade him without his say. But also, he needs a surgery that could either end his career, you know. I think this is maybe like, if I was a Buffalo fan, I'd be in a bad spot right now because this is worst case scenario.
Are you sure you wouldn't be in a bad spot for the past 10 years or?
No, definitely, right? But Eichel was their reward for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to tank and get Connor McDavid, and they got Jack Eichel, which is a hell of a consolation prize.
Yeah.
But that being said, if that's how that goes down, and he has the surgery issue and stuff, so they don't get shit for him in a trade, that is like the worst possible ever thinking. Like, it's like it doesn't get worse than that, dude.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't necessarily care from like a team perspective, but I definitely care from like a fan perspective.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like, I think about how this could have been the case with the Abs after 16-17. You know, McKinnon having a bunch of issues with the team and wanting to leave because we never pulled it together.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, you know, I feel like, you know, the divergence path there is like not like, it's like it's a hair thin line of like this could have gone either way, you know.
Well, it's weird because we kind of got shades of it with Matt Duchene.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
but in hindsight, it turns out that Matt Duchene fucking sucked ass, and Sam Girard is the truth. So,
I mean, Matt Duchene was our first line center that is truly a second line player, right? So,
yeah.
Girard was at worst a really good top four defenseman and has blossomed into like, you know, easy top pairing, just like holds the team together.
Yep.
Which is crazy because he was like really criticized for being so small, and he really makes it work.
All right, so now let's get into the fun stuff. The playoffs are coming up, and that means that we have to make playoff predictions. It's the law. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just the government.
Wait.
And make no mistake, the government totally sucks, you motherfucker.
Yes. So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to post an image of each round 1 playoff matchup into the Discord. And we're going to have Dylan and Devin start. But each of us is going to make a prediction on which team we think will win and the number of games it will take for them to win. Now, for the rookies, the way that the playoffs work is that it is a best-of-7 series, which means each team will play each other until one of the teams wins 4 games. So the lowest number that can be played would be 4 games, and the highest number would be 7. So, for example, if I were to put like the Bulbasaurs versus the Squirtles, you would say, oh, I'm going to take the Bulbasaurs in 4 because, sweep or whatever.
Okay. Makes sense to me.
So, we're going to start in the North Division. And our first matchup is going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Montreal Canadiens.
Dylan, you go first.
I know little about either of these teams' playing abilities.
That's the
However,
point.
It could be said that you've
Maple
never seen either of them
Leafs.
play. Maple Leafs.
I have
okay.
heard the name Maple Leafs as a name before. So 4-7 sweep. Get fucked.
Leafs in 4. Okay.
Leafs in 4. Pog. Okay.
Okay, so what if I told you that I was gonna go Canadiens for?
Canadiens in 4. Okay.
I would say fuck.
I
you,
like
that's what
that
I'd say.
one. I like that one.
All of Canada would have a meltdown if that happened. That's the one I'm rooting for.
Oh, that would be sick too.
That would be a fucking dream. I would love to see Steve Dangle just fucking cry.
I was gonna try and do a Steve Dangle voice, but I'll spare everybody in my close vicinity and Discord the pain of that.
Just go look up Steve Dangle yelling about a backup goalie that works for them. You'll get the pure energy from him.
All right.
How do we want to divvy these up after the homies?
Let's go Indy, you, then me.
So we're doing Toronto. Toronto Canadiens. I think the Leafs beat them in 5. I think the Canadiens can probably steal 1 game, but that's about it.
Okay, so my heart says Habs in 4. My brain says Leafs in 6.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna take the middle ground and say Habs in 7.
Ooh, okay.
I think the Habs have been dog shit, but showed a lot of promise. I think they have the firepower, and they have the possible goaltending, though inconsistent. And I think Toronto has the anxiety
I was about
of
to say the
consistent first-round exits for 100 years in a row. So, I think Toronto's a good team, but I think there will be some nerves there, and it will be up to them to overcome them. But Habs in 7.
Okay. I am once again in a position where my heart says Montreal because I just want to watch Toronto like burn to the ground. Like I want that city off the face.
It'll be
of the map.
Vancouver all over again.
But the Leafs are a considerably better team.
Sir, it's the Leafs, not the Leaves.
I don't know what you're talking about. The Canadiens have some real firepower. I think they can make it tough. I'm gonna go Leafs in 6.
You better write these down as you're editing too. We need to hold everyone accountable.
I am.
Oh yeah, I
Fuck yeah.
have a note paper with my picks.
Oh, I've got
I'm ready
everybody's
to be
picks
right
written
every
down.
single time. Smile.
Oh, it'll be
Ooh.
great. Let me just go ahead.
You know how many
And pull
playoff
up the
brackets will
next.
be burned if the Canadians sweep the Leafs?
All of them. Just-
All
they're
of them.
They're all gone.
My official NHL bracket is Habs in 6, so
Okay.
Okay.
So the next matchup we have in the North.
real
the
quick, I wanted to do something before we did this.
Okay.
Pick a jersey. Dylan, which do you think has a better jersey?
Habs.
Damn, okay. Devin,
Let me
logo
look.
also works.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Leafs.
Leafs.
Hmm.
I agree with Leafs. I like the Avs burgundy and lighter blue combination, but like the red and the deeper blue,
I think it's more visually interesting than
As-
monocolor, and I
Yeah, I
like
was
their
about to
logo
say.
better. So
I was about to say I do think the Leafs have a kind of boring design.
I'm going Habs because I think that White as a secondary is lame.
Yep.
It looks tasty though. But anyway, let's continue.
So the next playoff matchup we have are the Edmonton Oilers versus the Winnipeg Jets.
I assume I am going to go first again.
Yeah, let's
And
do
I
it.
am my gut says Oilers 6 for some reason.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna do Oilers in 5.
That's Connor McDavid is on the Oilers, so you're not making bad bets.
No, you guys are actually, like, aside from Canadiens in 4, you guys have pretty reasonable brackets right now.
Like I said, I'm ready to be right every time.
All right, Andy, what do you think?
I think Oilers in 5 as well. I think Hellebuck can steal 1 game, but you're not stopping Connor McDavid this year. I'm sorry, he's angry.
All right, Jake. What
I
you
think
got?
they are stopping Connor McDavid. I think Jets in 6.
Jets
Wouldn't
in
surprise me.
6.
Wouldn't
I think
surprise
the
me.
Oilers are a 4-person team. 5 if you include Mike Smith, but he's on a roll this year, but I don't know if he continues the roll. I think the Jets have also been dipping pretty hard and have the potential to rebound against an opponent that they know they can beat if they can corral the top guys. Now,
All right.
the Jets were supposed to get a top 4D at the trade deadline, and then Nashville decided they wanted to keep Ekholm, so I think the locker room is probably like about that. But I think Edmonton as a whole is like kind of shitty, and I think the Jets can do it in a 7-game series. Also, Edmonton lost to Vancouver 4-1 today, so shit.
Do you think they're truly playing today?
Yeah, I think you probably try and keep the mojo going.
Okay.
Especially the Canucks. I think the Oilers have such more to play for than the Canucks do in the specific game, just in terms of like tone setting, like pace consistency, stuff like that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Jets in 6.
Okay.
Okay. So, my head is telling me that Connor McDavid is on a roll. He's put together an unreal season where he got 100 points in less than 82 games. He's amazing. Leon Draisaitl's awesome.
You undersold it a
And-
little bit. He was on pace for 164 points.
Yeah, Jesus.
Jesus.
If it was a full season.
Yeah. I think that the Oilers have had the Jets' number in the head-to-head matchup all year. But let me tell you, my heart tells me Jets in 7, baby. My
Ooh.
heart's telling me Jets in 7.
Hell yeah. Listen, my bracket is predicated on one thing and one thing alone. It's a combination of 2 things, but if the Leafs lose and Connor McDavid also loses,
So we're
that's
just trying to
really
set-
great.
We're setting Canada on fire, basically, is what your brackets
Hell
are.
yes.
Right.
I
Well,
took the
it's-
reasonable
it's-
one in
okay.
Toronto.
Okay, well, the thing is, the Oilers did miraculously lose to the Blackhawks last year, so that's fine.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
I can,
They also
again,
didn't
I
have
can
Tyson
see it as
Barrie to
team
be
fault.
the leading defenseman in points just because he can feed Connor McDavid pucks and like kind of,
Oh yeah,
eat cake or whatever rich people do.
Yeah.
But hey,
I was about to say, I wasn't saying that team got better from last year. It's the same team. They're just Mike Smith is playing good.
I mean, I think they are better with Barrie, right? And Darnell Nurse is playing a lot better. But yeah, I mean, if Mike Smith falls apart, which he has shown that he has done plenty of times, they don't have a chance because they
Well-
just don't have the rest of the team to back it up,
And one of the reasons I think the Jets will end up winning is because, there's always upsets every year. And I think that if there's a matchup that has upset potential, it's this one.
I just don't think the Oilers have the full team.
Oh,
They could beat the Jets, but I mean, listen, you can't discount Connor McDavid, Barrie, Draisaitl's seasons and like the quality of play and the impact they can make on a game. I just think the playoffs are a different beast, and if you don't have that full form, like, really, really, really exceptional, like across the board team dynamic, the cup is a hard one, man.
I was
Yeah.
like, I'm not
It
sitting
kind
here
of feels like
going-
the Avs in 17-18, right? Where we got the top line, we had Barrie, we had some really good stuff, but it just wasn't working out,
Yeah.
The Preds
Well-
were just such a more complete team overall, top to bottom, that we couldn't hang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm most definitely not sitting here saying that the Oilers going to go, win a cup, because they're not. I feel like literally every other team that can beat their first rounders and second rounders will have plenty of power to beat them.
I just think it's really interesting because the Jets don't have a great defense. They have a lot of
They
offensive firepower that isn't popping off right now. But I feel like the start of the playoffs go, and I think they probably get there. I think it happens. I think at least it could happen, which is why I'm betting on it. Not with bucks, but with, my brain.
Oh damn! You put your brain on the line.
Yeah, dude.
Some big brain shit out here.
I'm frightened
know.
of what happens
That's-
when you win. Whose brain do you get?
I was gonna say yours, but I don't know how valuable that is, so I guess we'll figure it
Yeah,
out
I
at a
mean,
later
you
date.
wouldn't get much for it. I'm going to tell you right
Yeah.
You get Dr. Wyoe's brain, don't worry about it.
now.
All right, before we end this off, Jersey matchup, Dylan.
Probably Oilers because I like orange.
Including the logo.
I think not the logo. I think the Jets have the logo, but
I guess we
the
could say
color
overall
scheme
team
I like
aesthetic,
with
but
the Oilers.
the Jets is the team that has those blue, like baby blue with the cursive font that I show off all the time in
Mm.
Discord.
Oh, yeah,
That's the one Dakota wanted to
baseball.
post, but I said if he posted that, you guys would choose them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't make sense because they don't use them as almost home jerseys. They never use those things that I've seen.
Devin, aesthetic matchup.
I'd have to say the Oilers.
Okay. Yeah, these boys are both purveyors of the digital arts and the visual arts, which is why this is a pertinent question.
See, I like the design of the Jets logo, and I feel like they could have done something cool with that jersey.
I hate orange. I think the Jets jersey is kind of lame color-wise.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like- yeah,
So it's a
like
it's a
their
toss
logo-
up.
My
I think
point
the
was-
Oilers logo is unexpectedly kind of cool with the like shadowing
no.
of the
Yeah.
letters and shit.
It's
It
not
doesn't do a whole lot for me personally.
I think the jet with the leaf is way better, make no mistake. But
Right. I just think that I give the Oilers color scheme more just because it's just visually interesting as opposed to dark blue on blue with white.
by the way, the assumption for me is that most people listening would kind of recognize the basic aesthetics of teams across the league, so that
Yeah.
this plays decently on an audio format.
Uh,
I don't know if that's an unreasonable expectation, but
I feel like every Oiler game I've watched this year, they've been wearing their like dark blue jerseys, which I think look cool as hell.
yeah, if anybody needs to Google the Jets third jerseys, I just posted them in the Discord.
oh,
I think if we posted those jerseys versus almost any team in the league, they would win.
yeah.
Actually,
I think those
if
are
you can,
damn
if you-
good.
If you can find the Oilers dark one, you have them compare their thirds against each other.
I have a soft spot for that kind of blue, man.
These are the Oilers thirds. A lot of people don't like them. I think they're pretty good
Oh.
though.
They're
Mm.
amazing. I love that jersey.
Oh, this is harder than I thought it would be between these two.
I think it's the Jets every day, dude.
I think it.
I think the Jets rival the Avs and the Carolina Hurricanes third jerseys in terms of just like top in the league.
If the Oilers had a logo I liked more, I think I would go with the Oilers just because I really like that orange and blue.
Yeah, I guess for me, I fucking hate orange. Orange is just more saturated brown.
The only color I hate is fucking highlighter yellow. Fuck me
I think highlighter
and
yellow's
fuck
okay.
my
I really
eyes
like-
every time.
I hate dark green and I hate brown. And orange is just saturated brown. It's the color of neon weird shit.
All right, so the next matchup we have going out into the East, the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the New York Islanders.
Solely for this fucking penguin.
It's such a good logo, dude.
Good logo.
It's so good.
Penguins in 5.
Why are you okay? Devin, please continue.
I'm gonna say Penguin 6.
You know what? I'm gonna say Islanders in 7. I feel like that defense can wake up and shut down that entire Pens team if it wants to, and I can see them dragging that to be a very, very long series.
So the thing is, for the homies voting for the Penguins, you are basically voting for Sidney Crosby, who is not only McKinnon's best friend, but was long heralded as the best player in the league for quite some time. Now, here's the thing. Here's the context. Here's the hockey. The Penguins were supposed to be dog shit this year and ended up first in their division. Quite intriguing. Most of it was because Crosby was really good.
Yep.
The Islanders were supposed to be really good, were really good, and then had like a month and a half of just awful dog shit at the end of the season. But the Islanders are the team that we mentioned earlier with Barry Trotz as the coach, who play the most bullshit, boring, shitty-ass defensive hockey you've ever seen. And I think you never count against Barry Trotz. To be honest, even if the team's been shit, I think the Penguins are not good enough. I think they have some really good shit. Malkin's coming back, but we'll have to see how good he is. But obviously when Malkin comes back, Crosby gets less good. So I'm also going to say Islanders in 7.
Sorry, I was letting the record show that you said Islanders in 7. Listen. Pens in 6.
That Penguin logo is so sick, though.
Yeah.
Penguins in 6.
Why did you burst out when I said Penguins? I'm curious.
Why are you putting together a reasonable bracket?
The issue
like
is
your
that hockey's never reasonable.
Yeah.
Shaking my head. Dumb luck. You know, the puppy's gonna...
For a while.
Yeah.
Again, sorry, audio podcast. But they switched to this logo for a while, and then promptly were like, never mind.
I don't hate it, but I like the other one more.
It's just
honestly, I love the jersey that thing was thrown on.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, their full history is basically that original one. The first one had a scarf, which is pretty fun. And then the Space Penguin, as it is lovingly referred to. And then they were like, never mind, the original Penguin is so sick.
Except for when they went to that shitty, like, dull gold
I like the blue,
color.
but it was a third jersey, so it doesn't count.
The dull gold color is so bad, though. I'm glad they brought back the yellow.
Yeah. So, you know, I totally just brain farted about this logo. Dakota, you shared your prediction, right?
Yeah. Penguins in 6.
Okay, that's right. You did say that.
Yep.
So, do I know the answer to aesthetic matchups here?
Are you bringing in thirds or alternates or?
Nope, just home.
No,
just home.
We're doing
You
homes.
want to have bets on who we pick?
That's what I'm saying. I think I get it. I think I know. I do think the Islanders brand of blue and orange works for me a little more than the fucking Oilers, but
That's because they use blue as the primary color and like very predominant, and the orange is an accent.
I think orange works a lot better as an accent, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you're correct. So,
going.
Dylan, aesthetic matchups.
I think that I'm going to have to go with the Penguins. Both logo and color scheme, because I think black and yellow will look fucking sick on the ice.
It does. It'll do it both times you see it too.
Yep.
Hog.
Devin.
Penguins.
I figured.
Because I
You
said
know, I like the Islanders a little more overall. But I like the Penguins logo a shit ton more.
Penguins.
Penguins. Also, I don't know the story about, apparently they have a pigeon logo that is cool. I'll post it in the Discord for the homies. You can cut this if you want, but damn, they should have used this at some point.
Oh,
Oh my god.
hell yeah.
I'm into
They
that.
should just make that their AHL team.
Dude, I know, it's so tight.
No, hang on. I think their
Penguin
AHL
on
team is like
fucking
an actual
steroids.
variation of that.
At first, when you said it, I thought you said pigeons. I was like, is that their AHL team or something?
That's what it's called. It's called the Pigeons.
Really? Wow.
Well, I mean, it's called the Pittsburgh Pigeon Penguin logo. That's weird. Indy is not wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think it has the power necessarily, but
Yeah, I was about to say it
definitely looks
doesn't.
It's
like
missing
their
the motion lines. Bring it back.
their like the steroids were laced with something, and he's not feeling as good.
So next up, Game 1 happened today. You guys didn't watch it, but we did.
We will not tell results.
Nope. The Washington Capitals versus the Boston Bruins.
Ooh, I like that logo.
Yeah, very simplistic with the B in the middle.
I actually saw there's a team in Russia that literally just has the Capitals jersey, but it's Capitals spelled out in Russian. And I'm like, that's so fitting.
I want. You said it was the Capitals and the Bruins?
Yep.
I want to say Capitals because I really like that bird, but gut says Bruins 7.
Okay.
You know, goddamn.
Devin.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Bruins 6.
I am going to say Bruins 6 as well, because I feel like the Capitals are just not going to be able to hold up what they were doing during the regular season again. And also Taylor Hall and the Bruins kind of going off on a radio.
I am going to say Bruins 7. Actually. This was a toss-up for me. Taylor Hall really revitalized that team, having that second line scoring. Now, I definitely am sitting here with the Avalanche saying, this is where I put my Taylor Hall if I had any, because we could have gotten him. But either way, the Bruins are benefiting from him. The Capitals won today. I don't think they looked great. Both of these teams honestly look old and slow, and I don't think they make it very far. But
hey, don't you dare shit on my Craig Anderson, who was in net.
It's actually super funny because watching the Avs and then watching these teams is like watching like different sports almost. They're so slow. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's something to consider too, is that if the Capitals have to rely on Craig fucking Anderson, it could be Bruins and a lot less.
Hey,
you know,
hey.
I got respect for my man. He was an Avalanche at one point in time, 20 years ago. But, you know, I gotta go with the Bruins here.
He dragged that fucking Senators team to the Western Conference Final, I'll have you know.
Yeah, but he's also way older now.
He's only 3 years older.
Listen, that extra couple of years really weighs on you.
It does, yeah. He went from the player that can consistently pull out a 50 save night to you may see it like once a month.
Also, the boys may remember this. The Bruins have the guy who licked that other dude's face.
Oh.
And the Capitals have Wilson.
Well, and the Capitals have Wilson, which was what all that shit last week about the suspensions and stuff was about.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy who licked the other dude's face is McKinnon's second best friend. So, as far as I'm concerned, fuck the Capitals. Also, Ovechkin loves Putin, so go Bruins.
So this one's a toss-up. I don't think that there's a wrong answer to this one, because I think that that they are both teams that could reasonably advance. I have the Bruins on my bracket that I submitted. I think the Bruins are going to win it, but there is a case to be made that the Capitals really shut down the Bruins' depth tonight. And if they can continue to do that, I don't think that the Bruins really have much of a shot. But the Capitals are on their fourth-string goalie. They're old, and yeah, I just think the Bruins are going to get him. I think.
By the way, the Rask hate is way too much.
Oh, dude, what? I don't understand why people hate Tuukka Rask so much.
The OT goal was a fucking sick deflection that just totally screwed him. What are you gonna do about that?
Boston doesn't deserve Tuukka Rask. Tuukka should be able to go somewhere else. It's fucking ridiculous.
People are saying he's gonna fucking retire early because of it. He was considering not even playing this season.
I was about to say
Bruins in 6.
Damn. I was about to say I've heard that people are saying because he has 1 or 2 years left on his contract that if he doesn't get a new contract with the Bruins, he'll just retire.
Some context for the homies. Tuukka Rask has long been despised by Bruins fans for no reason because he's really good. But last year in the COVID bubble, which the bubble is just the closed off location they had for the players to make the playoffs happen. He left the bubble, and everybody like got so mad at him, like really, really upset, and like we're bullying him on his family on social media and shit. It turns out his daughter was sick, and sick in a really scary way.
I was about to say, it was
Um,
announced that he left because of his daughter being sick, and I was like, you guys need to shut the fuck up, let him do what
But
he
it was
needs
only
to
announced
do.
way after the fact, and the only reason that they had to announce it was because people wouldn't let up.
Yeah.
People
I
thought it was
thought-
because he didn't want to be in the bubble or something, or like
He ended up
couldn't handle it,
he ended up
or
going
didn't love the game
golfing-
anymore.
He ended up going golfing a few days after he left the bubble or whatever, and that's what made people think that he just hates hockey
Yeah.
or something.
But his daughter was like sick in a way that like was like scary actually. So
Hmm.
Bruins, I don't want to get too much. I mean, we could probably save this for next season even. I don't want to get too much into fan bases and stuff. I don't always think there is a credible argument against fan bases, but I think there's a couple, and like the Flyers and the Bruins and stuff that like really going above and beyond to like just be generally really awful.
Yeah. Boston
Um,
sports are usually pretty rough.
But you know, there's the context there. We can get more into this when we're actually playing these teams. But
Yeah.
as for that, I think I'm good for the next matchup.
Well, no, you're not, because we still have
No, you're not, because we got to do the aesthetic.
aesthetics. Dylan, who wins the
Dylan, you know
aesthetics
the deal.
matchup?
I like the Capitals for their logo. But their jersey, I assume this is their jersey,
It is.
looks like a high school tracksuit. I'm not here for it.
The tracksuit thing really tracks too because of the Russian love.
Oh yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with the Bruins. It is distinctly not as good as the Penguins jersey. I think that yellow sleeve does a lot for the Penguins, but
What if I told you that once upon a time the Boston Bruins had a fucking fit when the Penguins came and had a black and yellow color scheme?
well, if they had it first, I can see why. Black and yellow is fucking sick. It's
They
just
even
too
made a
bad they
song
do
about
it
it.
better.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow.
It's funny because that was about the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Is it actually?
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Same team.
Devin. Aesthetics. Who wins?
Bruins.
Indy.
Hmm.
Who wins?
The Capitals automatically lose by the fact that their main logo that we have on that comparison chart there is not actually their main logo. It's that shitty fucking just capital spelled out with 3 fucking stars.
I'm a dirty commie, so Bruins.
If they actually incorporated the logo, they would have a pretty fucking sick jersey, but because it is just capitals spelled out in a meh kind of way. Gotta go with
Yeah.
the Bruins on this one.
Literally, just give me their reverse retro jersey. I would be happy.
Their thirds this year are pretty fucking good though. The big W's.
I was about to say, yeah, like again, that's something. It's not just capital spelled out with a hockey stick in there.
All right. Now, on to the next matchup. Moving over to the Central Division. The Carolina Hurricanes versus the Nashville Predators.
I'm
gonna say the Canes in 4.
I was about to say I sense some bias here.
I am also going to say Canes in 4 because hell yes. Although Canes in 7 will be pog because more celebrations.
No, they would still only have 4.
They would only have
Right.
one, yeah.
But I get to
Um,
see them more often, so fuck you.
I'm also gonna go Canes in 4. I think Nashville gets their fucking asses booted out of here.
Canes in 6. Listen. You want me to elaborate, and I won't. That is a joke. I will.
You want me to talk
Um,
on this podcast?
Yusei Saros is hot. That is the Predators goalie. He's insane. And he is insane in a way that makes me believe in him more than, like, say, a Mike Smith. And the Carolina Hurricanes have 3 middle tier goalies rather than one who's really overperforming. So while I think the Canes are a significantly better team, I think the Capitals are going to pull like 1 or 2 out just by goaltending, if I'm going to be honest. But I don't think they have the team to really support like a full-on win of a series. So Canes in 6. Preds are going to put up a little bit of a fight, but otherwise, meh.
I'm going Canes in 5 for the same reasons. I just think that Nashville is a team that had their window within the last couple of years. That window is gone. They are a team that is regressing in skill. They've made bad decisions on free agents, Matt Duchene. And yeah, I don't know, man. I think that they made a real mistake by pushing all in on this season the way that they did. They should have traded a bunch of people at the trade deadline. They're going to give themselves more of an opportunity than they would have if they had sold, but I think that it's going to blow up in their face. I think they're going to be mediocre for a while.
So for the homies, this team was on the cusp of either being dog shit or being good, and they really oscillated throughout the season between the two. And they decided to say, fuck it, we can do this. So we're keeping everybody and selling all of our valuable pieces, right? To do a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
But the general consensus is that maybe they aren't good enough for that, and they fucked up.
Oh.
When I said earlier that the Jets wanted Matthias Ekholm and couldn't get him, it's from the Nashville Predators, and it's because the Predators decided they were better than maybe perception says. The Predators are also that team. I showed you the clip of Matt Duchene scoring and saying, doing that, like, let me have it, Selly, to the crowd. And then the Avs were like, oh, no, we're going to score 7 on you now, you shithead.
Mm.
7 within like 6 minutes or
Yeah.
within some short fucking period of time.
Yeah.
It's just like, congratulations, you pissed off a team.
So that's that team. We don't like them here for Duchene reasons and other reasons. They beat us in the playoffs a couple years ago. But the Canes are really good. So, yeah. That's the lore. I'm gonna dox the homies here and say that they're from one of the 2, maybe Carolinas. So that's why the bias is there for the Hurricanes.
I don't even think I would need to live here to have bias toward the Hurricanes after the shit you showed me. Kidding me?
I really like the fucking Hurricanes, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
I was about to
If
say
the
they're
Avs
fun.
get fucking owned, the Hurricanes are who I'm voting for.
With his wallet.
Mm-hmm.
With his wallet.
No, actually.
With his brain.
Yeah,
Oh,
my brain is on the line.
I'll put my brain on the line as well.
Both cockles are on the line for the Carolina Hurricanes, boys. Let's do it.
By the way, aesthetics, Canes.
Yeah.
I mean,
In
obviously,
case that was the question.
logo.
Well, and you
color
guys know what
scheme.
the Canes thirds look like too, right? So that's just the
Yeah.
obvious like mega winner.
I was about to
Yellow.
say,
Yellow first, then black is not a good look.
It's not even black. It's a navy blue.
that's, I was about to say
Is
that
it?
was a blue.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh shit. Yeah, no. Ugh.
It's really bad.
Yep. Like
Also,
bias
they're
aside-
called the Mustard Cats. The team is called the
Oh.
Mustard Cats, demeaningly,
Ugh.
which is upsetting to me because I think mustard is way better than the Nashville Predators. But yeah, they suck. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I would put money on the fact that the Hurricanes are going to wear their thirds during the playoffs yet again.
I'd hope so. They look great. I mean, I think that Quiznos knockoff logo kind of sucks. So
Yeah, I mean, bias aside, I think that just the Predators jersey is not a good look. Also, the Predators used to wear this jersey, and it's awful.
I was.
Oh.
Oh, the mustard enhanced.
Yeah.
Hey. The drugged out cat is a perfectly fine logo, people. Stop hating on it.
Nah.
A drawing of a cat from middle school is a perfectly fine logo.
I think it's like
Yeah,
I
it's
think
fine.
it's not the worst I've ever seen, but it is definitely made even worse by
The eyes really
everything.
fuck it up for me.
Yeah, it's
It-
the eyes.
Yeah, it's drugged out. That's why it's called the drug cat.
Alright.
But
It got really turned up on mustard.
Did you know you could huff mustard? This cat knows.
Speaking of
It
cats,
does.
the next matchup, Florida Panthers, lovingly referred to as the Cats versus the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Mm,
I'm gonna say Lightning in 5.
I think that I am also going to say Lightning in 5.
I am going to go with the Lightning in 6. Even though that Florida has become a lot better of a team, they're mixing of shit. What's that player's name? I feel bad. One of their key
Kucherov.
defensemen.
Oh, Edmund?
No, I'm saying Lightning are winning because the Panthers
Oh,
don't have
they don't
one
have
of
Ekblad, right?
Adler. Ekblad, yeah,
Yeah.
Ekblad.
Ekblad. Yeah, Ekblad being out, that really hurts them. I don't know if their goaltending can stay up the way it was, and I don't think the Lightning are going to just fall over. I think they're going to at least put. No, sorry, the Lightning are going to win 6 because Panthers are not going to just fall over. But yeah, they're missing too many things for me to think that they're going to stay alive. And the Lightning are cheating by bringing a bunch of players that are not.
Salary
Are you
cap
guys ready
here.
for this one? Are you guys ready for this one?
Yeah.
Panthers in 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine to the homies if Nathan McKinnon hadn't played hockey in 6 months and Gabriel Landeskog hadn't played hockey in 3 months, but we're magically coming back to play in the playoffs. The Lightning are the closest to the Avalanche in build and quality of player across the board. You could say they are basically equal. I would say the Avs might be a little better, but bias. But this is the team we discussed cheating by bringing players back because in the playoffs, the salary cap doesn't matter. Which, the salary cap is the cap of the salary you can be paying people. So it naturally limits the quality of players you can have. So you don't just have like every best player in the league across every line and just dominant wins, right? But I think not playing hockey for 6 months and 3 months respectively is a big issue. And I think the Panthers
yeah, I
are
see
hot
what
at the
you're
right
saying.
time.
Mm,
Yeah. I think the Panthers are also just ruining people. Coach Q is tight. I don't know if I believe in Bob so much, and he is starting game 1, so we'll see.
Yeah, they said that Bob is starting game 1
Um,
because they are stupid.
Yep.
The
so
homies
Bob
might
is
remember us making fun of Bobrovsky because he's the highest paid goalie in the league and is one of the worst at current moment. He used to be one of the best, which is why he got paid so much.
I may be
But
thinking
I think the
Panthers now.
Well, so yeah, I think the big thing is that it's really hard to repeat a playoff championship, and the Panthers are just hot enough to beat the Lightning, I think. I don't feel like most confident in this, but that is my take currently. I also think that if there was a playoff series to watch not involving the Avs, this would be the one because these guys are like really, really violent.
I was going to say that in my rant. I was going to say if you have to watch a playoff series that isn't the Avalanche one, this is the one to watch. They fucking hate each other. So, I mean, for a lot of the same reasons that that Jake outlined, and because I think that there is a hockey god, gonna take Panthers in 6. I think
Also, the Lightning had a huge playoff parade and like boat situation right in the middle of like COVID being really bad. So fuck them.
I think that's why the parade was on a boat.
Yeah, but then they carried it off the boat.
Ah, okay. Well, that changes things.
So yeah, I think that they're gonna fuck around and find out with Bobrovsky. I don't think they'll play him for more than a game or two. This could really end up just being a Game 7 situation because of that, but that's my take on it.
I was about to say, that's why I don't think the Panthers are going to be able to do it because I don't know their goaltending situation and their defense.
Aesthetics, Dylan.
So I think that the Lightning's logo is too simple. I think I've seen it in like a 50 million video game UIs.
And
So I
on
wanna
Harry
say-
Potter's forehead in every single movie.
I want to say I've seen this exact logo in a Harry Potter game, actually. Like, this is the health bar. I actually want to look at it once I'm done with
That's
my
about it.
spiel. But I think the Panthers look pretty good with their logo. Not super impressed with either color scheme. but I guess I'll have to go with the Panthers.
Devin.
I'm gonna say the Lightning. I don't really like the colors in the Panthers logo.
Indy, do you have aesthetic to chime in?
Aesthetic wise, I wish the Panthers stuck with their old logo. It
I
looked
was-
more badass and intimidating.
I was gonna say that. Here it is.
Yep, that just throw
Not
that.
bad.
Just take your reverse retro, make it your primary jerseys again. You'll be fine. But yeah, I think the Lightning just have a general better just jersey.
So I think that specific brand of gold, red, and navy blue is one of the worst affronts to sight that you could possibly ever combine. I think I've never seen something more offensive to my eyes. And I've read a lot of Trump's Twitter. I hate it. I also think the Lightning are too simple. But the Panthers are also a team over the years that I've consistently forgotten exist. So go Lightning.
Yeah, the Panthers did live in the bottom of a basement for a while.
I'm going Panthers. Lightning is just too simple. That's about it. That's my only reasoning. Okay, so those are all of the other divisions. So that means that for the next matchups, we have the Western Division. And we're gonna start with Vegas versus Minnesota.
Hmm.
See,
And you've
you
actually watched both of these teams play a number of times, so you can have some input.
Yeah, I was gonna say you actually know these teams.
I want, in my heart, I want Vegas in 4, but the Wild is kind of good. Wild in 6.
I was gonna say similar. I would say Wild in 6. Yeah.
I think since Vegas has home ice advantage, this series actually goes to 7, and Vegas wins it out. Just because Vegas can't win in Minnesota, and also I feel like Vegas probably will play very angry at the fact that they didn't get the opponent that they wanted.
My whole thought is that I don't think Vegas is going to be angry enough
Oh no,
to
no.
out anger the Wild, which is my basis for thought.
Well,
The
so
Wild-
the big thing is the Wild have been so Vegas has been really good, but the Wild have ruined Vegas almost every game. So they're kind of like their kryptonite. And I was gonna lead in and say like it's kind of funny because when you watch videos on YouTube of dogs choosing playoff predictions and them getting like the obvious answers of what you might think would happen, the homies are like dogs. I might say they're significantly less cute than dogs. But
No way, they're cuter. Come on now.
but I think it's kind of
Yes.
funny because they've captured the answers that you might get from someone who knows something about hockey and the league in general. But it is funny because they're like a lot of these matchups, they're the traditional like, what you'd pick. And I think
Yeah.
that has been supremely entertaining for me personally.
Yeah.
Because the Wild
Again-
have screwed the Golden Knights the whole time. I don't know if they necessarily know that, but it just the energy entered their brains through the airstream.
Yeah. I really feel like the magical story of Talbot coming back to form and their other goalie doing all right will vanish out of nowhere yet again. And I don't think Thrill the Thrill can back carry through a 7-game series of very pissed off Vegas.
Well, and they're both so physical, right? So neither one has that advantage. It's like Greenway
Yeah.
versus Reeves, etc.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
they're
no,
gonna
I was about to say
fight.
both.
They're gonna fight in
Oh,
that
yeah.
matchup. Holy fuck!
Colasar, like there's all kinds of shit. I think that'll again, it's this and the Panther series. If you weren't watching the Avs and you wanted to watch more hockey, it'd be the Panthers and the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Golden Knights versus the Wild.
Those
I
are the
kinda
two.
really want to watch this one.
The last couple Vegas versus Wild series have been like fight fests and fuck fests and all kinds of shit. So
Yeah. Kaprizov like slammed somebody to the ice. It was pretty.
With that being said,
entertaining.
Vegas in 7.
Yeah.
This one's tough for me because I do think that Minnesota has been kryptonite for the Golden Knights. But I think the Golden Knights are pissed off that they haven't won a cup. But I want an Avalanche versus Minnesota rematch, baby.
No,
No.
I can't handle it.
No.
Minnesota in 6.
I would
No.
die if we had a playoff game with the Wild.
And you don't even
I
know
don't
the
want
history either,
I
dude.
don't want a series against them. So I
Dakota,
really
do you want
don't.
to give a quick history lesson?
Fuck Minnesota.
2014, Game 7, the Avs lost to Minnesota in the playoffs. Throughout the years, we've just gotten screwed. Fucking the Minnesota ruined Patrick Waugh's career by eliminating the Avs. Oh, so much stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck the Wild.
I just want to crush them. I want that to be the second round matchup just so that I can watch the Avalanche crush them.
The only thing I really truly want in all of hockey is for people in Minnesota to not be able to drink because they have no cups.
You may have your number retired into the rafters, but you sure as fuck will not be drinking cups.
Can you guys believe that shit? They retired number 1 because their fans are number 1.
It's bullshit.
So
If your fans were
you've heard the name Joe Sakic, right? We retired Joe Sakic's number because he was so good for us. And this is common sports practice, that nobody
Right.
will ever have that number again. The Wild don't have anybody ever who has ever been very worthwhile. It's not true, but fuck the Wild. So they retired number 1 for their fans, which is the biggest cringe. It's more cringe than the fucking Imagine Dragons Avalanche video.
At some point, they're going to retire Kaprizov's number, and then people will be mad. They'll be like, you can't do that to McDavid's number. What are you doing?
Dude, that'd be funny. I'm actually interested. I feel like he probably comes down to earth next season, right? Once people figure his shit out.
Well, again, I feel like during the series that we had with them in the regular season,
As
we
AJ
did a
says, he was
decent.
Casper Kaprizov because he was a fucking ghost. Nobody could see him.
I was about to say we did a decent job at just making him a non-factor, and then the last game happened where he was like, "Hey guys, I'm here." It's like, congratulations, you showed yourself in the last game against us.
And then there was like one assist in a prior game where he like ripped a backhand from the blue line right in front of the net perfectly on the guy's tape to put it in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was just like, All right.
So I guess aesthetics.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm interested aesthetically since you've been staring at these guys all season.
I think I like the Golden Knights logo more, but I don't like their jerseys.
Their jerseys are a trash can.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate them both so much.
I agree. They suck.
As someone who hates green, I have to go with the Golden Knights. But as someone who is excited for the Golden Knights to get introduced into the league, we actually went to Vegas to see my grandparents, me, Dakota, and my girlfriend. Dakota's my second girlfriend, so it's fine. But yeah, we went to like the arena and like we're really excited. We bought merch and stuff. But when they announced those jerseys, I was really disappointed. I feel like they could have gone way more interesting with them.
Mhm.
And then all of their other jerseys that they've made have been like the same of just like, no, please stop.
Yeah.
We don't like this.
They really need a Hurricanes third style, like all black, just really sharp looking thing, I think.
They do. They
I
like
think you can
I
really make that pop, but they don't do it.
just do
I just
a
realized-
dark
Sorry, go ahead.
like full black jersey with like neon colors in it to match like the Vegas like lighting, and it would be fine.
There's a lot of stuff they could do, and they decided to just like, avoid all of it. Matrix
Yeah.
style, just like leaning back and dodging all the obvious bullets that would take you to like, aesthetic godhood.
The Golden Knight yellow, is that like the exact same as Crack Cat fucking mustard?
It's gold.
It's pretty damn
No,
close.
No, it's pretty damn close, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's not different enough for me to be able to sit here
It's-
and be like, yeah, definitely. But it definitely is damn
It's
close.
very close to that shit Penguins, the 2002 Penguins logo shit.
Oh, you
Though
yellow.
I do think that it serves its purpose much better than the Mustard Cats
I
colors
agree.
do.
No,
Yes.
it looks a lot better here than it does there.
I just think the gray prominence for the Golden Knights always really annoyed me.
Yeah.
And then they made those reverse retros with the red, and those were. Ugh.
I'm trying to figure out why they have red on their jerseys. There's none in their logo.
Well, do you remember the fucking Stadium series?
No.
Well,
Or at
Their
least not-
secondary logo.
so
Yeah, it's a secondary logo. I'm pulling it up. But
well,
so
it's a secondary
yeah, there's red in their
logo.
secondary logo that's on their shoulder. But this is the jersey they wore against us when we wore Sick Nordiques, like white jerseys with the burgundy.
Hmm.
And this is an affront to humanity.
That
as
is
a
an
whole.
affront to God, yes.
This is a war crime on the level of the worst things that have happened in human history.
It's an homage.
It's really bad.
It's an homage to an old Vegas hockey team, but it does not look good.
It's an homage to the shit I took this morning. It really doesn't look good.
Hey, again, don't worry. They won't wear their reverse retros in the playoffs, so you won't have to see it ever again.
Well, then, their other fucking jersey is this shit, dude. The gold one?
Oh,
What are
yeah.
you doing?
what?
Yeah, it just
What?
hurts.
Okay,
It's-
but Jake, did you ever
It
consider?
hurts.
Did you ever consider that there was a V in the helmet in their logo for Vegas?
VD's nuts.
Well, again, I'm not shitting on their logo. I like their logo.
Their logo is good.
I also kind of like these golden helmets, but still, dude, the aesthetic choices that they've made. I'm okay with it being Vegas-y and flashy, but the way they've decided to go about that is awful.
Okay. Yeah, no, again, I have nothing against their logo. I really like their logo, and I like how... Sorry, the one thing I don't like about their logo is there is a hidden design behind the helmet that you can't see because it's black on gray. But if you go into, NHL 20 or 21, whatever the hell you want to play, and change the logo colors, it has a really cool, design, and I'm sitting there, going, guys, you could just change that black on gray color and make your logo look cooler.
Yeah, I think that
Just-
shit sucks, dude.
Just
I think
do
that
it.
meme where they take the fucking the weekend from the Super Bowl show and put it in the Vegas Chrome helmets, like the gold chrome, shiny helmets, is so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that shit's garbage. I remember when we were waiting for the name announcement and logo announcement, and there were not a lot of super exciting ones, but just the Vegas Knights was the one.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, I'm into it. And they decided to append golden to it, and I still think that's an extremely cumbersome fucking name. The Vegas Golden Knights versus the Vegas Knights.
I was googling.
Adding the golden in there just makes it really not roll off the tongue.
Yeah. I
I
was
don't-
googling for images for this segment so that the boys can look at the logos and the jerseys and stuff, and just having to type out Vegas Golden Knights was one of the most annoying things I've ever had to do in my fucking life.
Now,
I do-
admittedly, VGK is a cool abbreviation,
Sure.
but not worth the name.
Yeah. I do like their AHL team. I don't remember what city they're from,
The
but they're just called
Anderson
Knights.
Silver Knights.
Henderson,
Yeah.
Henderson.
Yeah. But, yeah, I was about to say, they do a really good job with their logo.
But they're also
In my
just called
opinion.
the Silver Knights, so
Oh, there's
But come
another
on.
level to that fucking The Weekend meme where you could say, ooh, I'm blinded by the Knights because they have those fucking helmets. Hell yeah. Okay, we
Oh,
need to not
no.
use shitty American songs for our intros and instead use fucking Blinding Lights as our shit. 8-bit.
No. Just stop.
all right.
Or
So
we can sync up This Is America with 8-bit Call Me Maybe.
okay. So, last but not least, we all know what this is going to be, but, the last matchup, Avalanche versus Blues. Dylan, what's your prediction?
Thinking Avs in 5. Yeah, Avs in 5.
You got any framework behind that one?
Besides the Blues are annoying, which is why I'm giving them 1. I just that's about it, honestly.
Spoiler alert, I also have Ives in 5 because the Blues are annoying and I'm giving them 1.
I also have Avs in 5
Yeah.
because the Blues are annoying and I am giving them 1.
Wow. We all said the same thing, guys. Avs in 5. The
right.
Blues are annoying, and I'm giving them 1.
All right, guys, I'm gonna break this fucking. Everyone has the same answer. Because I said Avs in 6 because the Blues are just fucking annoying. And I feel like they could steal 2.
The Blues are annoying and I gave them 2.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like the Blues can just steal 2 fucking games and piss me the fuck off.
Well, so I think that a bunch of their players going on COVID protocol, including their number 1 scorer, probably doesn't bear very well for them.
Well,
Yeah, but they have Bortuzzo, and he's, as much as I don't think grit plays much of a part, I think he really likes to fucking be the skeleton xylophone man and play with people's spines, so we'll see.
Jake,
I mean,
you want to know a funny thing? He was a healthy scratch in their Stanley Cup winning game.
That's hella funny, actually. I hate Bortuzzo. I think he's probably my least favorite player in the league in terms of just dirty piece of shit. At least Tom Wilson has skill. Bortuzzo has nothing. So I will lead this into a final discussion that I have after we do aesthetics.
I mean, we all know what the answer is.
I think the Blues have a case against a lot of teams, but even if I wasn't an Avs fan, I would feel like they took the cake against almost everybody.
I would agree.
I will say that the Blues do have a cool logo. I do like their concept.
It's a cool logo. They make good use of yellow. I just don't like it as much as the Avs.
It's a good jersey.
Yeah.
It is objectively a good design.
I also think shape-wise, the Avs jersey is really like aesthetically pleasing to me.
Yeah,
It doesn't
really
have any
solid.
weird stripes or anything. It's very like, it just looks good. There's a case to be made for the Avs logo being 290s by people who know what they're talking about. As someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, I don't agree, but you know.
See, it's a mountain, right? But it's in the shape of like an A, and then the snow comes down and it finishes the A.
And also and there's a hockey puck in it. If you look at the bottom, there's a puck.
Are we all saying Avs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
This is rigged,
So-
fixed. Bunch of Avs fans picking the fucking Avs.
So I wish
Again,
I would have prepared clips for this. I might find them after the fact because it doesn't work on a podcast anyway. But watching that Bruins Caps game today really was a shining example of playoff hockey.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
One guy drove to the net, got tripped, and flew into the fucking goalie. No call.
Yeah.
One guy got punched in the head so hard that his helmet came off because the strap broke because of the impact.
Leave Oshie
No call.
alone. Leave Oshie alone. Why are you doing this? The man's
Yeah,
been
I
through
saw
enough.
I saw that play and I was like, wait, you're not gonna call that guy for fucking ripping this dude's helmet off? Because I thought it looked like a rip.
The funny part was that the helmet came off, right, which means that Oshie has to go back to the bench, but he sat there for like 5 seconds just looking at the ref like, dude.
Yeah, he stared at the
he-
ref. But initially I thought he was way more hurt than he was because of him just sitting there. It looked like he was shocked or something. And he was shocked because it was a shitty no call. But, you know, I didn't know that at the time.
I thought it was more like he looked at the guy who punched him, then looked at ref, and then was like, "What are you doing?"
But so,
Why are you
I mean,
wear-"
the homies can picture that, right? So get ready to be really mad at the refs. If you thought we were bitching about the refs a bunch in the regular season, oh boy, you better believe this is going to be some shit.
I'm gonna need to turn the zebra into an emote for ease of
The
use.
zebras might as well not even be on the ice with how they call some shit. And then Taylor Hall dived twice and fucking got calls on both. So, you know, whatever.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
But yeah, I think the big thing is that be prepared to be mad. I think the heights of the excitement you felt when the Avs did good and the lows and the anger you felt when they did bad are going to be magnified to a degree to which you might not have been prepared.
Yes.
Because once it sets in that everything is on the line and that they could just be going home pretty quickly or sending other people home, the real bloodthirst and anger and emotion of the game, like this is the best hockey has to offer, and it's relatively agreed upon by a lot of people that this is the best sports has to offer.
A lot of people say that the hockey playoffs are the best playoffs in any sport ever. So,
And the emotions are real. Hopefully, that that give a fuck tendency is built up enough over the season that you'll feel it. Because the first playoffs I fucking watched with the Avs in it were like, we were going to lose and we knew we were going to lose, but
yeah. But we
Hey,
didn't lose
again.
as bad as we thought that we would, so it was really exciting.
Hey, that first 5 minutes of that first game was real exciting.
yeah. So I guess it's been a little bit of a long-winded podcast. I know it's late for you guys, but I think this was a nice wrap up to the regular season, and I'm really excited for you guys to get the full wrap up of like the experience of cheering for a team through a season in playoffs, and a team that's good. In terms of that, how would you guys say your experience has been? We can start with Dylan for the regular season at least.
I don't know if I said it on the last pod, but I have been feeling the hockey more recently, and I don't know if there's a reason for that. Homies know I've been feeling better just generally recently, and I wonder if that has a part to play. But I am looking
You got
forward.
Stockholm syndrome into liking sports?
I don't think that's it, but that's exactly what I would say, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
I know Devin might be a little sleepy, but if you have any retrospective thoughts, now's the time, mi amigo.
It was a good time. I definitely enjoyed the hockey a lot more than I thought I might have. That may have been obvious for you guys when we were watching a recent game. I don't remember which one it was, but made me come 5 times.
Yeah.
I was always in the I hate sports camp, but hockey's the best sport. And eventually I came into the I hate sports camp, but I also like hockey. Being a dedicated watching just about every game Avalanche fan is rewarding, considering we came from the worst team in the league to the President's Trophy winners. It has been an honor doing it with the 2 homies that I've been doing it with for a while, and it has been an honor doing it with the new homies.
Yeah.
The playoffs, who fucking knows what's going to happen? Your guys' guesses are as good as ours because hockey, but hey man,
That's
it'll
hockey,
be a good
baby.
time. It'll be fucking intense. It'll piss you off and it'll make you happy. Hopefully the Avs do it all though.
See, I'm sitting here just waiting for the refs to make 7 horrible life decisions, and there are going to be teams that lose game-winning series due to these horrible decisions, and it's going to be great.
I have to
I don't
ask,
know.
Just gotta pray that it's not us.
disbelief suspended. How would you feel if Avs won all in 4? Just straight to the end.
Listen,
that would be, like,
the
the first
reality
time
is that
that-
I think the Avs could skill-wise objectively do it. But you don't know playoff hockey until you see playoff hockey.
No, that's why I'm like disbelief suspended. How would you
Well,
feel?
I mean, so a couple of years ago, the team who won the cup last year, the year before, got swept in 4 first round. They were better than the Avs are currently. And they got swept in the first round by a team who is thoroughly mediocre. So that is the expectation setter. But that is not the norm. Now I will say this is that clip. I know we're still pod time, but live reactions to fucking that dude punching that other dude in the fucking Caps Bruins game.
Damn. Bruh.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
in the
he's
regular
just-
season that gets called, and the playoffs that doesn't get called. Is basically get ready to watch that and be super pissed and hear us be mad.
Feels like a JoJo fucking punch. He just sides in and just keeps sliding afterward after he's finished the punch. What the fuck?
Yep.
Hockey has a bit of a reputation, especially the playoffs, for you're really putting your body on the line, and you need the months of the summer to recoup because you were literally like breaking fingers and playing through it anyway. Generally in hockey, especially the playoffs, you don't stop playing unless you have an injury that prevents you from doing the basic things you need to play. There are instances of players, Erik Karlsson, actually, we talked about last week. We said he's the guy who got his Achilles tendon clipped, and we said imagine if Makar had that happen to him. That guy played through a broken ankle in the playoffs.
I was about to say,
How the fuck do you do that? I don't know, but
I thought it was a mostly broken foot. Like, he crushed his foot into the boards in one game, and you saw that hurt like a bitch, and then he just kept playing.
it was something like that. Point being,
Yeah.
though, you know,
Major
that's
foot
very
ouch,
likely.
and he played fucking hockey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Played hockey, got to the conference final, and then finally lost.
And so,
the
yeah, I mean,
Penguins.
people play through everything. Like all kinds of shit happens, and it is, you could say it is morally ambiguous at times how these players are treated and what they go through in a way that is troublesome in some moments, and at the same time is wildly entertaining. So, you know, I guess you have to weigh the pros and the cons there. Dakota posted something that I had in mind, but this Ovechkin hit I thought was way worse. He jumped into it and hit him high and got no penalty, so smile.
That was the
Holy
hit
shit.
into the boards. Yeah, so I thought that was boarding, and I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
but the
well,
one
so
the one I
Oh, okay,
posted is
never
more
mind.
the one that made me mad.
oh, okay,
That's- My man
yeah,
just
he
got
does.
hit and run. What the fuck?
yeah, he does, yeah.
That was
But yeah,
charging, that
that's-
was a high hit, that was all kinds of shit.
I am not
Yeah.
prepared for this. I'm going to tell you now. If this is
It-
shit that's...
And let me tell you, the Blues are going to be the team to really make this stuff happen
Yeah.
more than even than what we've posted. I think the Blues are maybe the worst team you could face in terms of having this happen to you. I think the Avs skill-wise will beat the Blues. I don't think the Avs are going to come away unscathed, though, because of shit like that.
I was about to say that's why we lost to the fucking Stars.
Ovechkin really did jump into this. There was that other Ovechkin hit that always gets clipped and replayed in like the best hit compilations, and he jumped into that one too, in my opinion. I'm sure at least two of you know what I'm talking about. It was on there.
Yeah.
It was against Hurricanes, I believe. but
Yeah,
he jumps into it.
yeah.
But
that's
everyone's
why
like, "That's a
it's-
great clean hit," and I'm like, "It ain't though."
Yeah, I think he typically always jumps into his hits, and that's why. But like it's always like very last second jump, and that's why I think no one calls it.
He has Vladimir Putin's sniper squad backing him up, so nobody wants to like challenge him on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But alas, we don't need to make this meander too long. It's 1:30 in the morning where it matters, and 3:30 in the morning where it doesn't. So
Definitely can cut this segment of this part of it if needed, but the Wild and the Knights play at 3:00 your time, and then the Lightning and the Panthers play at 7:00 your time. So if we were up for a day of playoff hockey, I would be more than willing to do that.
Oh hell yeah! Let's watch the Lightning and Panthers tear each other
Yeah.
apart.
And then
I will be watching those games. Whether the boys want to watch those games, I'm not sure, but I will definitely be watching them.
And then the next day,
suppose-
the Hurricanes game is on right before the Avs game. So if we wanted to do another night of hockey, we could do that.
Depending on how conscious I am 12 hours from now, because I'm tired as fuck. I
Well,
really
you
want
know.
to try and get that Wild game in.
Yeah,
I would
and I
say that
promise
I
you,
am very interested in trying to watch as much of that series as I can.
Yes.
I promise you, that Lightning Panthers game is going to be insane. Also,
Yeah.
if it is something you were up for, obviously it's a lot of hockey. Me and Dakota at least watch that much hockey semi-normally. Andy definitely dips his toes in. I know that's
no,
I know the almost every other night schedule has been at times difficult to adhere to for sleep reasons and all this other shit. But
I was about to
if
say
there
during
were
the
days that you-
playoffs.
if you felt like dedicating days, because I promise you playoff hockey is going to be the thing you'd want to experience in that way.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't going to be
Unless-
us playing the Kings and just ruining them and having them not put up a fight. This is going to be like some shit from all kinds of teams that you don't even need to know the shit. You don't even need to know anything about them. It's just going to be dumb as fuck.
Unless brain
yeah.
is melted today is Sunday, which means I don't have anything to do today, so I can watch. I should be able to, unless I'm fucking tired. Should be able to watch.
I guess what we're going to say is we're going to watch. Feel free to watch if you want to. It's not going to be podcast content necessarily unless you do watch and want to discuss it. I think we can probably say that we're going to try and make a podcast every 2 Avalanche playoff games.
Yeah, at least try to go
Yeah.
bi-weekly, at the very least.
Yeah.
Or
Wednesday,
not bi-weekly,
Saturday.
semi-weekly, I guess is technically the term.
Well, so I actually Googled it because I was pissed. I wasn't pissed, but I was confused. And I
It is
Googled
both.
bi-weekly, and on Google it says either once every 2 weeks or twice a week is the definition for bi-weekly on Google. So
Yeah.
the fact that both are
what?
correct is very annoying.
This is-
But I will say, yeah, if you guys want to be around for games, games are there to be around for, and they will be games that are worth watching, whether or not you have the emotional investment. And then I think the Owls versus Blues series is going to be some real, like, oh, so this is truly what sports is about shit.
And
There's some real shit.
I know we don't have like a massive following or anything like that, but that goes for anybody that's listening to this as well. Like those are the series that are worth your time.
The Canadian series will be interesting, but I don't have the emotional attachment. I don't think they do either necessarily. I think Habs Toronto would be another good one,
Yeah.
but I think based on recent games, Panthers Lightning is going to be so sick.
Yeah.
Ugh. And for our purposes, we've watched the Lightning and Wild play a shit ton, so we already know.
Yes, the Lightning in the Wild.
Yeah, like I said, the Vegas and the Wild. Just like hyper fucking cut in a computer voice saying Vegas over my voice in the same way we have Yeah Joe's happen, and we'll be good.
Not just cut him saying Vegas there and place it over his other sentence.
Whatever works. Actually, have it a female computer voice saying Vegas.
Siri, say Vegas.
All right. So let's end this thing. If you want to contact the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at GritHockeyCast. It's the best way to contact us. We're on it all the time. If you want to contact me personally, I am at Kumodere, Kumodere on Twitter. And Jake is...
I'm anime as leaders. I generally tell nerds that they've been owned. And if you want to read that, that's fun. So, you know, people on Twitter suck and I don't suck. So I like to make them think that.
Damn.
You are people on
That's
Twitter.
right.
I was about to say you are the people.
I am
You're
above
part
people
of
on Twitter.
The people.
I'm above tweet. I know I'm not people on Twitter. I'm the protagonist of my story and people on Twitter are the extras.
That's right. Anime is leaders.
And boy, are they
Bad
badly
anime
written extras,
as
I'll tell you
leaders.
what.
Sorry, it wasn't in the budget. Leave me alone. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one.
Obayo gozaimasu.